Howdy there, fellas. Good to see you again. Look, I'm back again. Yes, I'm alive. Reports of my death were only slightly exaggerated. Good to see you. Flippy says hi too, as you can tell. Like, immediately as I start talking into the microphone, he's like, oh, my turn, my turn. And he jumps up to the microphone to start, like, I don't know, trying to bite it. He wasn't even over here. He was, like, on the other side of the room. Hears me start talking into the microphone, and he thinks, now is my time. Now is my chance. This is my big moment. So now I gotta pet him, or else he'll try to stick his mouth all over the microphone. But no. Today, we're gonna be back working on my anime guy. I'm going full kawaii. I finally decided to make the leap and go full kawaii. But yeah. Oh, I need to give him his tail. That's why he's got a big old hole right there. Gotta give him his tail. Still gotta add some stuff to his outfit. His outfit's pretty plain right now. Thinking some kind of jewelry beyond, like, the bracelets. But right now, today, we're gonna be focusing on the hair and horns. And the way that I'm gonna be modeling it is gonna be with kind of like an old-fashioned style of hair modeling. A lot of what you see on YouTube will be people using, like, curves and just sticking a whole bunch of curves with shapes for their geometry all over the top of it. And that's fine. You know, if you're making a VTuber or a VR chat avatar, that's totally cool. You know, it doesn't matter. Your poly count at the end of the day barely matters. But I kind of, for the shader and style that I'm going to be going for, it becomes very apparent that the hair is a bunch of separate objects rather than, like, one cohesive piece of mesh. Hey Silver, nice to see you again. It's a whole, like, you can see here, we're kind of already there with a, what do you call it? Manifold. Yeah, we're in, like, one huge manifold piece, and we're going to continue building on this as we move backwards into this, into what's kind of like a faux hawk, like a hat, or I guess more like a just spiky hairstyle with, like, shaved sides. And gonna end it off with, like, a really, like, exaggerated, stupidly long ponytail. But it's not going to be coming down this way. We're actually going to model it straight backwards like this, so that our physics can take control of that hair a little bit easier, rather than modeling it in a predetermined curve. But yes, we're going to be modeling this in a bit of an old-fashioned style. What I mean by old-fashioned is, like, back in the day, they didn't really, like, I mean, like, way back in the day, like, way back in the day, they didn't have curves, or they didn't model hair for anime characters with curves. They modeled them box style, vertice by vertice, to try to get the perfect shape so that it can be as optimized as possible. Optimization doesn't really matter as much today, especially for VTubers, but, you know, I like to stay consistent. I like to make sure that my models can run on, like, a PlayStation 1, because, I don't know, it's just good practice. How many times did it take for you to do your full dragon avatar? This is, like, maybe, like, the seventh, I think, iteration of this dragon model. You know, just, like, over the years, as I've gotten better and better at modeling, you know, it started off very simple and then got more and more detailed, and now it's about as detailed as I'm willing to put into it, because now I'm moving on to full kawaii stuff. I'm an anime boy now. Or I'm gonna be pretty soon. Pulling the dragon out only for special occasions. Yeah, here's a full look if you want to see. See me in all of my splendor. For the dragon, all of this was hand sculpted. Like, all of the scales are hand sculpted. I didn't use any, like, patterns, like scale patterns. sculpted the plating, the tiny scales, every little tiny scale, the details in the plating in the back with the horns. All of that was sculpted. Just so I knew for sure that like everything was seamless. It was perfect. Or as perfect as I was willing to put it. Even in the mouth and in the teeth. I put a lot less effort into like the mouth and teeth because I hate doing anything with like teeth and mouths and just like, fuck it. Ew. Just, you know, get it out of the way quickly. Functional is good enough. I didn't do like every single scale one by one. Like the smaller ones, like these, those had a brush, a very specific brush. They're still hand painted, but they weren't like 1, 2, 3, 4 scale. It was like group of scales I would do like in swaths, and they would follow a specific direction based on what direction I was painting in. That made it a little bit easier. Bigger scales, like these, the plates, those, yes, I did do one at a time. Like, I sculpted those one at a time. But there's not that many of them. It didn't take that terribly long on the, you know, like on the hands. Those were definitely one at a time. Just so they could look exactly like how I wanted them to look. And all of that. Plates and all that. Oh yeah, it's a good result. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It's one of my better models. Let's see. So for today, let's get some hair. We're hairstylists. My career as a 3D artist is over. I'm now I'm a hairstylist. And I'm kind of normally you would have like a high poly sculpt to retopologize. That's normally what people would have. But I didn't feel like doing that. I didn't really feel like it was necessary to model or to sculpt a spiky haired guy and then retopologize it. It would honestly just be easier for me to skip that and just retopologize an imaginary model. You know, like I just imagine the high poly sculpt on his head, and then I just retopologize it as if it were there. I know that's not a very efficient. If I was working at a studio, they'd be like, "What the hell?" But I'm not working at a studio for this model, so I can do what I want. But normally, yes, you would have a sculpt to work off of. But what we're doing is we're kind of going off of the assumption that the hair is going to be a rectangular prism, you know, that just gets progressively smaller. We're going to try to keep the roughly the same number of edge loops with each hair strand as we go up. So like we'll make a loop of like 4 vertices, and then we'll start moving up until we get it to roughly where we want it to go. If we want it to go higher, then we add an extra loop all the way up to this point here. But I don't. I want the center of his hair to be the tallest portion, and then to be progressively shorter as it goes along. I hope I'm still listening to the same guy. Okay. Because I know for a fact that the artist that I'm listening to is like copyright free, so I can like stream it on YouTube. But sometimes like I'll go through all of their songs and then end up with a totally different artist who's not copyright free. All right. So like everything from here all the way to like the side of his head, where the round part is, that is going to be roughly about that height. And I think that the spikes, I'm probably going to have them go until about right here-ish. Actually, I think I want to get rid of this spike right here. And this is going to be roughly where the ponytail is going to be. I'm thinking it's going to be like about this long. Like, I want it to be like stupidly long. Like, silly how long it is. And then, of course, I gotta add my tail, but I haven't fully decided what I want my tail to look like yet. I don't know if I want to just copy the tail design that I have here, which, you know, probably, most likely. With, like, the plating stopping about halfway through. Or having, like, the belly plating stop about halfway through, and then, like, the upper plating go practically to the end. I don't know yet. Haven't decided. We'll see. But today we're doing hair. I think I made that a little too... No, that's fine. So we'll extrude down, grab a vertex here, and... Like I said, I'm envisioning where the spikes would be, and roughly where the scalp would be, right around here. And I'm retopologizing based on that. The mesh is going to be a little bit messy at first, but we're going to use some modifiers and some sculpting after the fact to fix it. But for now, we just need the mesh present. That's all we need. And you'll notice too that the points where the spikes meet is roughly here on the inner layer. Then it goes down one level so that the spikes can like get progressively longer. The hair spikes get a little progressively longer as we get closer to the sideburns. I just make sure I turn clipping off. Really should delete these because don't need them anymore. For those who don't know, the red faces, those are the inside of faces. So the faces that, like, the back faces. It helps me determine that the faces on the polygons are facing outward and not inward. couple of these hair strands are getting a little bit chunky. God damn it. There we go. I'm really wanting to finish this guy today, but I don't think I'm going to be able to, because I still have to do the face tracking too. Let's see. Thinking how I want the outer spikes to line up. The idea is that his hair color is going to be like brown for like the middle, and then like the outer spikes, maybe the outer 2 layers of spikes, are going to be like my red color, or like a darker red color as they work their way down. Maybe like the middle color could be like white, or like bone colored, like my horns. I think that outer layer will go down roughly like here, meet up right here where the ponytail is gonna start, and then have some hair that's like kind of hanging down here. Yeah, I think that's probably how it's gonna go. Let's get to work. When it's all red like that, that means all those faces that I just extruded are not facing the correct direction. We just select them all and then go Shift N. Whoops. That made them all face the wrong direction. I have to set it to inside. Sometimes I can't easily tell, especially when you're doing box modeling like this, which way is inside and which way is outside. But that's okay. We can help it along. It'll become much more clear once it becomes entirely manifold. Or gets closer to that. Getting a little bit out of control there. Where it's starting to get a little harder to tell where one spike ends and one spike begins. I remember when I was a kid, I used to want my hair to be like really, really spiky. I'm not exactly sure why. I don't remember why. But I remember I would buy like the hardest gel that I could get my hands on. Stuff was practically glue, right? And I would obsessively try to make my hair as spiky as possible. Like I would twist it in my fingers, trying to get it to be like it, where like it almost hurt to put your hand on my head. I don't really know what my deal was. But you know, kids do weird shit all the time. Kids are little freaks. I was no exception. So it's kind of cathartic to do this now. Lore's inner child is just like, yes, spikier, please. Yes. So spiky that it will hurt your mom's hand when she puts her hand on your head. Yes, good. Oh, Mom would be so proud. Oh, she hated it though. She hated it. She stopped buying me hair gel for a long time because she was just like, no, I'm not gonna do it because you just want to make it spiky for no reason. I'm like, Mom, this is how the kids are wearing it. This was not how the kids were wearing it. I guess this is how like the Dragon Ball kids were wearing it, but not like the real life kids. I remember when Trunks first debuted. I wanted to be just like him. I wanted to look just like Trunks. Like, Mom, can I dye my hair gray? And she's like, are you out of your you're out of your goddamn mind. Let you dye your hair gray. And I was like, well, Dad dyes his hair. My dad was dyeing his hair when he was like in his 50s trying to hide his grays, and I was over here like trying my best to make my hair gray so I could be like Trunks. Of course, I couldn't pull off like Trunks's center part because I, you know, wasn't Trunks. I wasn't that guy. So I just looked like a little dweeb as a kid, trying to wear the Trunks hair. But then I see kids like wearing the broccoli cut these days, and I'm just like, oh no, I feel so much better. Oh, that makes me feel so much better, actually. So much more confident. I always tell my wife, I'm like, I swear to God, the broccoli cut is the mullet of today. Is the mullet of the 2020s. People are gonna be looking back and be like, oh my God, you guys remember the 2020s? Oh my God, can you guys believe that we all wore our hair like that? And then she told me, actually, the mullet is the mullet of the 2020s. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And she's like, look, kids are wearing the mullet again. It's just a little bit different. And they get mad if you call it a mullet. It's like, it is a mullet, though. And I was like, oh my God, you're so right. They are it. The mullet is the mullet of the 2020s. I gotta start making the spikes a little bit shorter for the back. Alright, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Hmm. Kind of running into a corner here. Okay, that's not working. That didn't work either. Alright. I'll fix those faces here in a second. Like I said, it's gonna look messy at first. It's gonna look real messy. Shameful, even. That's about to clean up real quick. To me, this is still easier than, like, in a lot of ways, using curves. With curves, you have 3 points of control. But here I have, like, all of these points, every vertice on the spike. And while I'm doing this, I'm kind of envisioning right now how I'm going to be texturing this and how I'm going to be UV unwrapping it. Which for hair like this is actually not going to be very hard at all. So it'll be right around here where I start to have to get a little bit more selective. I might have to go more like vertice by vertice. Because this is where the hair connects to the scalp. And it may not be quite as formulaic as it's been thus far. Need to start transitioning from straight up spikes to more like laid back. It's not really a good way for me to demonstrate right now why this is going to be like a much better way of modeling this hair than like just a bunch of NURBS paths, but you're just gonna have to trust me for a little bit. Just hang in there. It'll become very apparent to intermediate artists. Around here is where we're going to start flicking back a little bit. Coming along. What's good, Darthwing? Alright, so right around here is where we start to kind of diverge from what we were doing previously. A little bit. This is the edge, or where the hair meets the scalp. It ends in a point because that's like kind of implying that the hair is being combed in this direction. Kind of like how you would attach the bangs to the forehead. Appreciate the lyric. Guys, you can get cheap viewers. Are you guys the cheap viewers? They're talking about you. Man, I should have had a bigger lunch. I'm starving. Something about streaming makes me hungry as hell. What if anyone else has that problem? Mm-mm. They don't all have to be like this. Like every spike doesn't have to be perfectly pointed out like this. But a good number of them should be. I'll probably add a few like a few stray hairs here and there just to kind of make it seem a bit more, or seem a little less obviously a wig. I don't know how else to put that. So we'll see what it looks like once it's all painted. What's up? Doshu, I know who you are. I see you. What's good, buddy? I'm finally going kawaii. Time for your nappy poo? It's time for my nappy poo. I'm tired. Me and the missus stayed up too late watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I'd never watched it before, but she was a huge fan growing up. It's one of those shows, you know, it just kind of hooks you in. Old TV has a way of really hooking you in. Even if it's like not perfect, it's still like, I don't know, it's addictive. It's like sugar. You work nights? Ooh. Ooh. That's not good. I don't work days or nights. Just kidding, I'm just kind of between jobs right now. I do contracts, so like, or I do contract work, so like every I'm always like between jobs. So if I'm not working, I am between a job. Hello, Flippy. Stop. That's a bad boy. Stop it. Ow. Here he goes again. He's like, ooh, I want to rub my face all over the microphone. You don't think the viewers will mind, do you? Yes, Flippy, they will mind. They will mind. Pathfinder, I haven't really played anything tabletop related in like over a year. I just haven't had the desire, I guess. I don't even know what the current version of Pathfinder is. Are they only on like a second edition? I struggle to figure out what D&D could possibly do for like a 6th edition. I don't... It's kind of hard to imagine. They kind of nailed it, you know? They kind of made the... They kind of made the perfect tabletop RPG. They trimmed out all the fat while keeping it customizable, just customizable enough to be fun. And accessible to, like, a wider population. Not whiter, wider. But also wider. Their population didn't need to get wider. Oh my god, you're right. That's so right. Their population doesn't need to get wider. Wider. Yeah, I think they're trying their best to, like, turn D&D into something that's just as profitable as Magic the Gathering, and that's just not... That's not gonna happen. That's completely unrealistic thinking. Tabletop RPGs just do not have the same... Even as expensive as they can be, they just do not have the same, like, addictive properties as, like, a card game, especially one like... Magic the Gathering. They just don't. They just don't. They ain't got it. They ain't got that kind of sauce. They're just not designed in that way. Man, I hated I hate Critical Role, man. Like, what they did, like, to the wider, like, gaming community, because everyone's, like, has their expectations set extremely high for what D&D is supposed to be like. Or they think that all D&D sessions are going to be just like that. And I'm like, I got some news for you, buddy. It's not going to be like that. It ain't going to be like that. You'd be lucky to get half that. I tried my best. I was also an unemployed college kid, so I had all the time in the world to make it as good as as good as it could be, as good as I could get it. It's a little harder to do in your 30s. Where it's gonna get a little tricky, trying to figure out how far I want these spikes to go back. Like, Part of me kind of just wants it to go right about here to where the ponytail is. Of course, it can also go like this all the way down. With the ponytail here. I just don't know. Something like this. Maybe a few stray hairs going down this way. Big old ponytail, big crazy ponytail. I get that. Every RPG I play, I end up playing like the same guy, but in every game. Just don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking like right there. Or I guess it wouldn't make too much sense, because it's like, if you got a big old ponytail, it's pulling up the hair from down here too, so the hair might go to like right to the ponytail, and then everything else is the ponytail. So it like, if when the ponytail's like undone, it would look like a mullet. Like a really, really bad mullet. Something like that. You know what? I'm gonna model the ponytail. And then I can kind of go from there. Cylinder. No, this is for me. I'm making my... I'm going from being a full dragon to being a kawaii anime boy. I even kept my little Mexican mustache. And my sleepy eyes. And of course, I modeled my body exactly as it looks in real life. 100% look like this in my 30s. Definitely. Trust me, fellas. Trust me. I'm also trying to decide where the ponytail should start. Should it be like white down here? Right here? Either way, it's gonna be modeled like straight back, because that's how you do it. Thinking. Or you know what, I can just move it later. I can always move it later. I want it to be like a stupidly huge ponytail too. This will work. See you next time, Doshi. I guess it also depends. If I want the ponytail to kind of go... Like when the gravity is applied to it, will it go up and down like this? Or will it just go straight down and like that? Because if it's going up and down, it would be a little bit set, or it'd start a little bit higher up on the skull. But if it's just going to go straight down, then it needs to be like here. I have to kind of think, where do I want it to... Where do I want it to end up? Hmm. I think I do want it to be like in the middle. So if it's going to be here, where it starts out, that means I need to model some hair that, or some strands that go up and into the scalp here. Truth be told, I am going to need like way more. There's subdivide. There we go. Not quite that much. Because I want this ponytail to be pretty big and exaggerated. Like almost too big for the amount of hair he's got on his head. I am starving. Like I'm never, like when I start streaming, I'm like, ah, it's okay. I'm not hungry at all. Then I'll start streaming, and then next thing you know, I am just dead starving. Thing. Yeah, I'm gonna make this like way bigger. Or like way fatter. So like right here. Just immediately. I used to have hair kind of like this, just not with the ponytail, not this nearly this long. But I remember if I didn't put it in a ponytail, it looked like a really bad mullet. So I can only imagine how bad this dude's mullet would be if he let his hair down. Okay. I think we'll continue. We'll eventually find a good pattern for what it is we're trying to make. Trying to look at it from a bunch of different angles. Just kind of have to fill in right about here. I'm trying to think of the best way to do that. Hmm. What's good, Kazu? Look, I'm kawaii now. I'm an otaku. Or am I just a wannabe-aboo? I'm a wannabe-aboo. You got off at work, what? You shouldn't do that. Put you away for that. I haven't really been live for like the past week because I got so sucked into playing a new Digimon game. I couldn't stop myself until I had completely beaten it, or at least gone through the story mode at least once. I was just so entrapped by it. Way more than I thought I was going to be. I really didn't think I was going to like it that much. But here we go. There we were, I guess. And I still had some issues with it, but I think it's like possible to make it like an incredibly fun game. Like I did feel like hard mode was basically like effortless. And I'm not even that good of a gamer. it just kind of was. But I think if you play it in a very specific way, you can make the game like hard in an engaging way. I was kind of hoping that Mega Mode or Mega Plus was going to be like a more engaging hard mode, but it kind of just turned into, all it really was like New Game Plus. With like just big, you know, big stat blocks for even the most simple enemies at the very beginning. Which basically just meant, you know, play through the whole game again, but every enemy has like maxed out stats. And that's not really like, that's not hard mode, that's just high level mode. But I think if you play hard mode, basically just hard mode, but you don't use any of the attachment abilities, and rely only on like every Digimon's special ability or like unique ability, then it kind of forces you to have like a pretty well-rounded collection of Digimon and not just have to rely on one really stacked Digimon. Because it got to a point where I could just have one really stacked Digimon and get through the whole game with just that one. And I didn't think that was intended. I don't know if that was like the way the game was meant to be played. Like I feel like I should have only been able to do something like that on normal mode or easy mode. But it felt like I could just do that from the get-go and just have one really stacked Digimon with character. As soon as I got character reversal and like reflex, it was over. Like it just kind of, yeah, the new one. It was just so effortless by that point. Like the fact that I could just like most of the time turn on the auto battle feature and just let them, I could just leave the room and they finish the battle for me. That shouldn't be possible. That should not be a possibility in a game that's like engaging. Like, it was one thing when I was able to do that with, like, trash mobs, but when I got to the point where I was doing that with, like, bosses, I was like, okay, this game's, it's cooked. Like, it's over. I've done everything. I think by this point, we can't really call this a hard mode anymore. And it made me kind of sad, because I had all of my favorite Digimon completely Mega Plussed, Fusion, DNA Digivolved, and all that. Which is, I thought was cool. I wasn't expecting to have the ability to DNA Digivolve at all. I was very pleasantly surprised to see that that was something that you could do. You just got to start it yesterday. I'm sure you'll have fun with it, though. I still had fun with it, like, don't get me wrong. I'm a stickler for difficulty. Fucking Dark Souls ruined gaming for me forever. Did you, I've never played Cyber Sleuth or Hacker's Memory. Those weren't really ever on my radar. But apparently the gameplay on those is practically the same. I wasn't sure if you'd played those before. Oh, that's the one you are playing as Cyber Sleuth. I was going to play both of those before this one came out, but I just didn't have the time. So I just went ahead and played Time Stranger. It didn't seem like it was a sequel, like an actual, like, narrative sequel, so I don't feel like I missed anything important. I should have got it on my Switch, honestly. If I had known that it was on the Switch, I would have bought it there, just so I could play it portably. I had no idea. But God, I just gotta, like, geek out for a second. The models, the 3D models in that game, holy shit. They're some of the best I've ever seen. Like, some of the absolute best monster models for any game, any, like, 3D game I've played in, like, the last decade. They are fantastic. Like, the shadows, the muscles, details are insanely well optimized. I can't even put it into words how they managed to make that happen so efficiently. Like, every single one of the models has such amazing shadows. Like, I'm jealous. I want to get my hands on them. I can't wait for them to get ripped so I can, like, get my hands on them and really dig into how these models were made. Probably be another couple weeks before I get the ones that I want. I really want to see crap, what's his name? I want to see Leomon's model. I want to see Aegiamon's model. And I want to see Guilmon's. Those are like the big ones that I need to... I must know. I must understand. I must dissect them for research. For science. They must be dissected. I do like to dissect animals for science. That is something I do. It's one of my favorite pastimes. Jeez. Yeah, my wife had not ever watched or really kept up with Digimon at all. And she thought it was just like Pokemon. And then I showed her some of the designs for the Digimon, and she's like, "Oh my fucking god, that one just has a gun." And I'm like, "Yeah." Yeah, Digimon is better than Pokemon by like such a large margin. It's like it's not even close. It's a crime, the greatest crime of humanity, that Digimon is not more popular than Pokemon. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like Growlmon, Guilmon, they got the muscle definition down. They got it figured out. And they're not like high poly models. They're not like drastically high poly models. They just have some kind of normal map going on. Some kind of normal map for toon shaded models going on. That is incredibly efficient, and I gotta figure out how it works for my own projects. I demand to know how the sauce is made. I must have the Krabby Patty formula. Don't think I'm quite, whoops, quite there. Might need one more layer. I think it needs to get about right. Alright. Not bad. I just need to clear up this one gap right here. Right to the ponytail. Then after that, we will make the ponytail much larger, much more detailed, add a lot of stray hairs and stray strands. I think that ultimately this whole thing's going to be flattened. So it needs to be more like this. Something along these lines. Where it's like flat on the bottom, taller on the top. Something like this. Yeah. Even wider. All right. Yeah, just from seeing this silhouette on its own right now, I'm already feeling pretty good about it. I will be adding some more, like, high detail bangs, because the bangs are more important. Yeah, these are going to look great. I cannot wait to texture these. But yeah, fellas, I think that's gonna be it for today. I am like way too hungry to keep going. I'm gonna like pass out. But yeah, I hope y'all have a good time or a good day. I'll try to be back sometime later this week now that I'm done with Digimon and all that shit, so I'll have nothing else going on my schedule, so we'll see. I'll see y'all again when I see y'all again. Peace out.